Good morning, Savior. I want to be sure that you guys can hear me clearly. So if you can hear me, can you drop something in the chat box? I mean, it's been a while I used this streaming platform, so it actually gave a lot of issues. So I'm not even sure that you guys can hear me clearly. So if you can hear me, can you drop something in the chat box so that we can just get started? Oh, that's good. You're welcome. All right. So this is going to be a short one, right? And like I said, if you check the description, it's just a weekly market outlook, and we're going to be doing this. I mean, today is just testing, right? So we're going to be doing it um frequently. We're going to be doing it every week. Every week. Ideally, we are supposed to do yesterday, but we couldn't have it because of some reasons. So it's possible that we're just going to make it Tuesday morning, right? So it is very possible that we just make it Tuesday morning. Although I really wish that we can do it way before market opens, probably Sunday night or early morning on Mondays. But weekends are always crazy, so we might not actually be able to do it on Mondays, right? So probably we're just going to pick. Probably we're just going to pick Tuesdays, okay? We're just gonna pick Tuesdays. And I know that it's so early, but man, like this is the best time we have to for this live session. This is the best time, to be honest. Because if I say we should have it during the day, a lot of people would want to go to work. People want to go to work. Those that want to, uh, 1 second. So people want to go to work, and if you want to make it in the evening, I mean, I'm always very, very busy at evening time, so it wouldn't even work. So I guess this is our best time, right? This is our best bet. So I guess I'll be seeing you guys every Tuesday. All right, so let's go straight to what we have for today. I'm just going to be doing a general market outlook, right? So I'm going to be analyzing XAUUSD gold, right, with you. And I'm going to keep this analysis as simple as possible. It's funny because I always tell people that once you figure out a strategy that works for you, the only thing that is left for you to do is to keep applying that strategy every now and then. Like, you don't have any reason to change it. Although market sentiment changes, and you might have a reason to adjust the strategy when market sentiment changes, but it's not a justification for you to change your strategy. If you keep changing strategy, that you just discover that you are just packing years of experience in forex, and you're not profitable because you keep moving from one to the other. You just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. So once you figure out the perfect strategy that works for you, I mean, you stick with it. So I would start the analysis now. By the way, for this live session, if there is any pair that you are looking at, it's weekly market outlook. So if there is any forex pair that you have been looking at and you would love me to analyze it for you, you can just drop it in the chat box so that I would look into it for you. I'll look into it. We can analyze it together, and then we'll pick a bias from there. And it's funny because some of the bias we'll be picking in this live session is what's going to be our projection for the week, right? It's going to be a projection for the week. So if you can still hear me clearly, please, I want you to drop something in the chat box. If you can still hear me clearly and I'm still audible, can you drop something in the chat box? Do I still have you guys um active? Okay, so Ebenezer said I should analyze GBP. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's start with gold. Let's start with gold. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you guys are active. So let's start with gold. All right. So this is a gold chart, and whenever I want to start my analysis, the first thing I always do is to check the overall market sentiment on the higher time frame, like your daily time frame, right? This is going to give you an idea of what is happening on the charts. I mean, if you are not analyzing on lower time frame, on the higher time frame, there's no way you're going to see the bigger picture. D1 weekly time frame, they show a bigger picture of the chart, what the market looks like, right, on a larger scale. And I can see that, I mean, it's no news that gold has been flying. The price of gold has been flying, especially because of this war tension. It's funny because gold has started flying before this war started, because of the what's it called, sentiment of war. I mean, when people know that there's going to be a war, of course a lot of people, they don't want to wait for the war to start before they start pulling out their assets from countries that are involved in the war, right? So a lot of people have started buying gold even way before the war started, and that's why we had gold price shot to the upside, right? And it hit a hot time high of 5,600. And then immediately the other time I was it, there was a massive drop, which of course referred to as retracement, right? There was this massive retracement to the downside, and then we can see that the retracement has ended, right? And then price is pushing back to the upside. So ideally the sentiment of gold, based on, before I even start talking of the fundamentals attached to it, the sentiment of gold is to the upside. If you are selling gold at this point, I don't know what you are doing. It's on the trade we picked on the group yesterday. It was a buy order. So a friend of mine, were in the office, and a friend of mine saw a sell order, and he caught 500 pips sell right in the office. Immediately his sell ended, I saw the market and I bought. That was when I sent the that was when I sent it to the, okay, see. So that was when I sent the setup to the group, right? And then we're able to catch like around maybe 300 to something pips, and we broke even before market shot to the downside. Now I didn't post it on the group. I didn't post it on the group, but immediately there was that rejection back. After that, after break even, right, there was that rejection. I didn't post to the group. After the gap closed, I entered another buy order immediately, and I woke up this morning with about, I think, 600 pips. I just closed the trade this morning with our 600 pips. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because gold overall on a higher time frame is has bullish sentiment. Even technically, you can see obviously. So a friend of mine in Turkey, right, those people in Turkey, they actually buy physical gold. So this guy, we're just having a meeting, and he was seeking for my advice. He was asking, should he buy gold and all that. And this guy sold his car, right, to buy gold. He bought physical gold because he's planning to get married. And he just told me that what's going to happen to the value of gold. I remember gold was around, I think it was around here at that point. Was it 510? Like, I think it was around maybe 5k, 5,080 something. And I told him that if gold can break this particular eye, this place, if gold can break this place, there is a very high tendency that we might see the value of gold back at the all-time high. But when it gets to the all-time high, it is time for you to relax, because you never can tell. It could form a double top. Technically it could form a double top and then push to the downside, or it can break it. But then whatsoever profit that you want to make, you should take it at the all-time high after this level gets broken. It was a simple analysis. And he lives in Turkey. Turkey shares border with Iran. Immediately the war started, he was the first person to text me that, hey Femi, can you see the value of gold? It is flying. I was like, okay, you're enjoying now. Like, he wants to buy another car, actually, a bigger car. So I'm sure that even with the profit he has made now, it's enough for him to get another ride for himself. So that is just the power of technical. So this is me just saying, oh, market has broken this particular high, and there is a very high tendency that it's going to shoot to the all-time high. So gold overall has a bullish sentiment, right? I hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, make sure, yeah, because I need to be sure that you guys can hear me. The app I'm using to stream is giving me so many issues. So every now and then, please let me be sure that you're following me. All right, so the overall sentiment on gold is bullish. We've confirmed that. So there's no point for me. I don't actually look at any other thing. Once I confirm the overall sentiment on the daily time frame, and I'm a daily time frame person, even my position trading strategy is majorly on the daily time frame, right? So I go to the H1 time frame. Now from H1 time frame, all I'm doing is looking for significant point of interest. And for some of you that are not familiar with the XMC strategy, I actually used XMC strategy on gold and other commodities. I sometimes use it on GBP JPY and GBP USD, but I don't use it on other pairs like EUR USD. I don't use it on those other pairs, right? So I don't use it on all those other pairs. I stick with commodities. So if I want to analyze now, I can analyze 1 second. If you want to analyze now, I use the SMC for gold, BTC, and all those things, right? So we are going to be sticking straight to the simple SMC strategy. And I know a lot of you already know SMC, but then you have a lot of information right up in your head that you don't know how to simplify it. And don't forget, I always say that the what makes you a profitable trader is not actually your strategy. It's not how intelligent you are coming up with a strategy. It is about how disciplined you are following your risk to reward, how disciplined you are. Now you will see that some of my most of the trades I post online on the Signal community, it is majorly 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7. Now I already have that risk to reward at my advantage. So even if I have more losing trade, my small win is going to cover up for my losing trade, right? So it is not even about the strategy, it is about how disciplined I am with my risk to reward. So please don't forget that. So for those of you that already know SMC, this is just a simple SMC approach that I use on gold. Most of the trades that you are seeing on the group, it is strictly with this SMC strategy, right? So now on the chart on time frames like H1 downward, right? I just want to look out for some of my point of interest, right? And the market, don't forget, gold is very volatile. If you want to measure the distance between the current price and probably the last level, if you want to measure the distance, I mean, this is, if I want to measure distance from here to here, this is about 2,200 and something pips, right? We don't know when that is going to what's it called, when price is going to pull there. So I actually don't really stay on H1 time frame, because if I want to find a setup on H1, it is just going to give me a very large a very large stop loss value. So that's why I always go to M5 and M15 for my entries. But then on H1 we have to mark out some of our point of interest, and I know that a lot of you too have sentiments when it comes to point of interest. But for me, my point of interest on gold on the H1 time frame is just this side, right? And it is this side on H1 because I can see the struggle. I can see how gold has been struggling to break out, right? There was a consolidation here, and eventually there was a big break eventually here, right? This big candle that broke out of this consolidation. So the previous candle before then, I marked the high and low and I tag it as my point of interest. I think SMC traders will be able to relate. So this is my demand zone on the H1 time frame. But don't forget that it's going to take a long time before price push to that side. This is about 1,420 pips. It's still a long time. So I really want to still look at for some other point of interest on lower time frame, right? But I'm going to keep this. This is my H1 time frame. Although some of you also make mistake, you draw so many point of interest that it confuses you. So because if I go to the lower time frame and I don't need this at the moment, I just delete it. I want to keep my chart as clean as possible. Oh my god, time is flying. I want to keep my chart as simple as possible, right? So I think I've drawn that on H1. I've drawn that on H1. Then I want to also look for it on the 30 minutes time frame. Let's see what we have on the 30 minutes time frame. I can see that price has broken out, right? Okay, and there was a reversal at this point here, but it has not gotten to my H1 point of interest. But at the same time, in between, I can still see some inside move. I can see how markets pushed to this upside, came down, pushed up again, right? So let me go and look at this on a smaller time frame. So I'm going to my 15 minutes time frame now. Now on my 15 minutes time frame, what can I see? What can I see on the 15 minutes time frame? Okay, so this was the last high, the recent high, right? It is not the all-time high, but this was the recent high at the moment, and this move has not broken this high. Now you need to understand something. If you don't understand market structure, I think I dropped a video on this, is it on this YouTube channel, on how you can measure your higher high and higher low, a break of structure and all those things. Probably if that video is not there, maybe I'm going to upload it, okay, so that you can learn more about that, right? I'm rushing because I still have a lot of analysis to do, right? So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example so that you understand. I will use um okay, but let me finish this. Let me finish this analysis before I go. So right now, my outlook on gold for today, I can't see anything significant yet, except that my point of interest on H1. So it's funny because I might position myself for the H1 point of interest, right? Put my entry here, put my stop loss below these candles. This is about 250 pips, and put my take profit up there. Now this is already 1 to 7. 1 to 7. Now it is so simple like that because I got that this setup on H1, but price might not pull up to the H1 point of interest before it keeps going up, because the sentiment of the news now is showing that gold should go to the upside, right? A lot of people are withdrawing their money from all those economy and putting it in safe haven assets like gold. So we might not get this retracement 1,400 and something retracement before it keeps going up. We might not get it. So I still want to look for some simple entries on lower time frame. So I can decide to go to the 5 minutes time frame. Now on my 5 minutes time frame, can I spot any point of interest on 5 minutes time frame? Okay, I can see the markets came up, went down, move up to form another higher high, came down, broke out again to form another higher high, and a new high has not been formed. That is inside trend. That is not the major trend. So I want to see if we can take small position from this inside trend. Don't worry, this might still be looking new to you and funny to you, but then by the time you come to this live session 2 or 3 times, you'll be able to see the market the way I'm saying it. And we started late today, so there's no way I'm going to, take time to probably break this down to you, and I still need to achieve the goal of this live. Okay, so now this is the last eye, right? This is the last inside trend eye, higher eye, right? And the move that caused this break started here. It started here, right? It started there, and I can spot a point of interest here. I can spot something here, right? And what I can spot here is that I can see that before this big candle happened, right? Before this big candle happened, there was a very small candle before it, right? For those people that understand SMC, I don't want to go into balances and imbalance of market and all those things. That is, we'll save that for later, okay? Right? But just take it like this. Before that big candle happened, there was a small candle that happened before it. And that small candle is where I will mark as my point of interest. So the projection is that there's a possibility that price is going to tap into this point of interest and go to the upside, right? And you can see that it is this move, this big move, that caused the break of this structure to the upside to form a new higher high up there. Please, I want to be sure that you guys can still hear me. So if you can hear me, make sure you drop a notification in the chat, okay? Right? So I've marked out this point of interest. Later on, maybe in the subsequent live session, I'll still teach you the other confirmation I get. For example, like the fair value gap and all those things. I'll explain that. But then just let's take it as point of interest for today. Okay? So this is my point of interest on the 5 minutes time frame, and it's as simple as that. I want to position myself and ready for price to move. Now this is about, let's say, 70 pips stop loss. This is about 70 pips stop loss, and I want to take my profit at least at the nearest high. So I think if I do 1 to 6 here, it's not bad, because don't forget this is also a lower time frame. I don't want to fall victim of the big market move, right? So I want to be ready to take my profit like this, right, on 1 to 6. So for this trade now, for this setup I just showed you, like I'm projecting and preparing myself for a 1 to 6 move. I mean, it's funny because if your risk to reward is 1 to 6, you are cheating the market already. In fact, if your risk to reward is 1 to 3, you are cheating the market already, because if you stay disciplined with that risk to reward, you are always going to have an edge. You will definitely get an edge, because even if you lose more than you win, your wins will definitely cover for your loss, and every month you still come back with profit, right? So this is the projection that I have for gold for this morning, right? This is the projection I have for gold for this morning. And don't forget that there is a bigger picture, and the bigger picture is that if this market hits stop loss, right, I'm still going to wait for market to push back to my H1 point of interest. I have another position ready to be taken from the H1 point of interest. Now, another thing is that on this H1 level, if market eventually did not tap into my point of interest and breaks to the upside, let's imagine that market decides that it's just going to move and break to the upside, right? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to mark this area as my break of structure again, and I'll be looking for my point of interest around this zone. But that has not happened, right? So you can see all the projection I have on gold. Number one, it is either I take that small move 1 to 6 on the 5 minutes time frame, but if it hits stop loss, I'm waiting for price to push to the downside on the H1 point of interest. I have another position waiting there. But if that one does not come, my price does not even tap into any of this and it breaks, I want to be ready for another move, right, at this particular point of interest. So that is my outlook on gold, guys. That is my outlook on gold. If that is clear, please make sure you drop something in the chat box. Oh, Ebenezer said we have the same bias. Okay, so Ebenezer, like you want me to analyze GBP JPY. So let's go to GBP JPY, guys. Let's go to GBP JPY. Then another thing, let me show you something. Let me show you something. At times, your chart if your chart is not as colorful as that, as this, then you have to start asking yourself questions, because you want to be sure of all the trades you have picked so far and how well your strategy is doing. If you see, this is my main server, this is where I analyze my market, and you can see how well my strategy has been doing for a while, even mere looking at how this chart is, right? So some of you, once you take your profit or you hit your loss, you delete your entries, you delete it on your trading view. You shouldn't delete it, you should just keep it so that you can always look back and check if you are doing well, right? So let's go to GBP JPY. GBP JPY. So what do we have on GBP JPY? So don't forget, I want to start my analysis on a higher time frame. Now you can see my projection on gold. My projection of gold is buying. Now some people might see some short sell positions. It doesn't mean that it will not be profitable, but then I want to follow the trend. I want to follow the big boys. I don't want to be caught at the opposite side of the trend. That is why my bias on gold is always buy. It has always been buy, especially now that fundamentals are now supporting it. Fundamentals like the war news, right? I think there is also going to be a surge in price too, in price of oil too now. And if that happens, gold is going to fly. So my bias on gold is buy. All right, so GBP JPY, don't forget, I want to start on the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, what do I have here? Let me check another server. I think this one I've messed it up. All right, on the daily time frame, the overall sentiment on GBP JPY is also to the upside. It is a buying sentiment, because clearly looking at this, what market is doing right now is making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Although it's possible that what we have here could possibly be a change of character, like the trend is about to change to the downside. It is possible, but right now we can't confirm that until we have a new lower low, right? Until we have a new lower low. Ideally, we should be positioning ourselves for a sell position here, because we can even see that this market has broken this neck region here and it has retested it. So there is a very high tendency that we might have markets move to the downside. But at the same time, see, you don't want to, as a scientist, you don't want to be biased. You want to be open-minded. You want to be open-minded to the possibility of we having market move to the upside or the downside, because market only makes two kind of movement. It is either it goes up or comes down. So you don't want to just have cloud your mental, because this market right now is showing that there is a change of character. Obviously it is showing that, but it is possible that this move downside could be an overall retracement of this move. Let me show you. Let me add my Fibonacci retracement. So the move that we are having could be a retracement of this particular move. So it might possibly not be a change of character. So I have that in mind. I have that in mind. So now that is what the outlook looks on. That is the outlook on the what's it called, on the daily time frame. Then I want to go to I still have overall bullish sentiment until I see another lower low. My sentiment is still majorly bullish, right? So I want to go to the H1 time frame. So what do we have on the H1 time frame, right? On the H1 time frame, I'm only looking for point of interest that is going to send my price back to the upside. And oh, look at this. This was one that was missed out, because ideally I would have marked this place as my point of interest. I would have marked this place as my point of interest. Can you guys see that? And easily position myself for a buy order. That's 40 something pips, and put my stop loss. Probably this is like 1 to 5, this is 1 to 6 already. That's what I would have done ideally, right? So I didn't pick any trade on GBP because I've actually been invested in gold these days, right? But this would have been a perfect setup for me, right? Before that massive bullish candle, that caused that break to the upside, you want to mark out a point of interest with the candle before that big candle, right? I have a sell position on gold, but price didn't tap it. Okay, we have 7 minutes to go, so let me just quickly wrap up. um let me just quickly wrap up this analysis. So this one will be running at the moment, and I don't think I would have any reason to position myself again for now, because the only thing I'll be waiting for is either price breaks to the upside. I'll be waiting for price to break to the upside, hit my take profits, break to the upside, and tap into my zone again, into another zone, probably another zone that I marked from here. We never can tell, right? So for now, on GBP JPY, I don't think there is any setup at the moment. But then that is on H1. Don't forget that's on H1. So let me go and look for what is happening on the lower time frame, like the 30 minutes and 15 minutes. Right, this is the 30 minutes and this is the 15 minutes. So what does it look like in 15 minutes? Now for 15 minutes, I can see the market is having a push to the upside, right? There was a break here, a break of structure here, right? There was a break of structure here, and then ideally we are supposed to mark out a point of interest at this zone, but I can't see a big bullish candle that carries that momentum of buyers. I can't see it yet. So maybe if I want to see it better, I would probably go to the 5 minutes time frame to see if I can have anything like that. And I can't see anything like that as well on the 5 minutes time frame. The only one I can see is the point of interest from the H1. So I don't think I will have any buyers on GBP JPY at the moment. I don't think I have any buyers on GBP JPY at the moment. Okay. So on GBP JPY, Mr. Ebenezer, there's I don't have any buyers. The only buyers would still be running at the moment. Will still be running if we had entered it. Okay. So any other currency that you want me to analyze, guys, then don't forget, please, guys. I mean, in time of war, this is the time for you to actually take advantage of some things. Let's go and check the value of US oil at the moment. I posted it on my status which day that you should go and buy oil because the price of oil is going to, there is a projection that the price of oil is going to shoot to the upside, right? At least hit this all-time high again. Let me show you this on a daily time frame. Because with the war tension, like the price of oil globally is going to go up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. And there is a projection. There are a lot of people that have been projecting that it's possible that oil breaks this all-time high and even gets 150. And looking at this, if you are caught on the right side of this, you can make a fortune from this war tension, right? Yeah, nobody likes war, but then in this kind of period, there are a lot of money to be made from the market. There are a lot of money to be made. You just have to position yourself in the right way. I'm so sorry we could not actually discuss a lot, and even most of the trade analysis today, I just had to rush it because we started very late. But the subsequent one we'll be having will start very early. Since I've been able to figure the app out now, so we'll start very early, and I'll be able to explain more. Then please don't forget to subscribe to this page so that you can always get notified whenever we go online. Because at times I might just go online during the day. Although this Tuesday arrangement is going to be fixed. But at times I might quickly want to show you something and I'll just quickly go live. And I'll be going live majorly on YouTube now these days. Okay. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this channel to your friends so that they can also learn. I've also been posting some educative content on this page so you can learn. In fact, this strategy, the simple market structure strategy and all those things, you can get everything on this page and you can get to learn and become better with trading. All right, so if there is any other outlook for the day, I'm still going to send it to the Telegram Signal community. So if you are not there, make sure that you join the Telegram channel so that you can get updated too. In short, try and give us close marking across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us everywhere so that we can grow together. So thank you so much for coming around this morning, and I wish us all a profitable week ahead. Bye, guys.